Have you ever wondered if the people you trust are subtly shaping your reality? That the kindness you receive isn't a gift, but a carefully crafted tool? The truth is, there are invisible strings attached to almost every human interaction. You just haven't learned to see them yet. These aren't simple tricks. They are the fundamental laws of power, influence, and control that govern our world. They operate in the shadows of our minds, and most people will go their entire lives without ever realizing they are merely puppets in a play they didn't write. Today, we pull back the curtain. But be warned, once you see these strings, you can never unsee them. These mechanisms matter because they are the architecture of our society. They build empires and topple kings. They decide who gets the promotion, who wins the argument, and who is left feeling small and insignificant. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote centuries ago that it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Why? Because love is fickle, held by a chain of obligation that can be broken at any moment. But fear is a cage you carry inside your own mind, and it is reinforced by a dread of consequences. This isn't about good or evil. It's about understanding the cold, hard mechanics of human nature. The most dangerous people are not those who are openly hostile, but those who have mastered the art of making you believe their agenda is your own. They don't force your hand. They guide it so gently you think the choice was yours all along. Let's explore one of the most potent tools in this dark arsenal, reciprocity. On the surface, it seems harmless, even noble. I do something for you, you do something for me. It's the foundation of social cohesion, but in the hands of a master, it becomes a weapon. Imagine a colleague who consistently brings you coffee, offers to help with your work, and always remembers your birthday. You feel a sense of warmth, of gratitude. You see them as a friend. Then, one day, they ask for a small favor. They need you to support their questionable project, overlook a mistake they made, or give them access to information you shouldn't share. Suddenly, you feel an immense unspoken pressure. To refuse would make you seem ungrateful, a bad person. That debt of kindness you thought was a gift is now a chain, and it is pulling you toward a decision that goes against your better judgment. You are trapped. The kindness was never free, it was an investment. This is the dark side of reciprocity, manufacturing obligation. Repeat this after me and type it below to claim this power. I recognize kindness that comes with a price. Now let's look at its insidious twin, the foot in the door technique. This is the art of the small, seemingly insignificant request. Can you just take a quick look at this report? Could you spare just 5 minutes to hear my idea? The request is so trivial that refusing seems unreasonable, almost rude, so you agree. But that small yes is a psychological trigger. It changes how you see yourself. You are now a helpful person. You are involved. The next request will be slightly bigger, and the one after that, bigger still. Before you know it, you've gone from a 5-minute chat to dedicating weeks of your life to someone else's goal. You've been led down a path, one small step at a time, until you are so far in that turning back feels impossible. You were not persuaded by a grand argument. You were conquered by a series of tiny surrenders. Think of the activist who asks for a simple signature on a petition. A week later, they ask for a small donation. A month later, they're asking you to volunteer your weekends. Each step made the next one feel natural. You weren't coerced. You were groomed. The master manipulator doesn't break down your door. They persuade you to open it yourself, 1 inch at a time. As the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre said, man is condemned to be free. This sounds liberating, but it carries a terrible weight. The burden of absolute choice is terrifying for most people. We crave certainty, rules, and paths laid out for us. And this is where the puppeteer truly thrives. They don't offer you chains, they offer you relief from the terrifying abyss of freedom. They give you an enemy to hate, a cause to believe in. a simple us versus them narrative that silences the nagging questions of a complex world. They sell you a pre-packaged identity, and in your relief, you gratefully hand over your autonomy. They tell you what to think, so you don't have to bear the burden of thinking for yourself. This isn't just about politics or cults. It happens in families, in workplaces, in friendships. The strong-willed leader who knows what's best is often just a skilled architect of psychological cages, offering security in exchange for your soul. True freedom isn't the absence of constraints, it's the courage to create your own meaning in a meaningless world. To be the master of your own mind, you must first be willing to face the chaos alone. Now affirm this: my freedom is my own to define. Imagine a man, let's call him Arthur, who works in a quiet office. He is competent but invisible. One day, a new manager, Julian, arrives. Julian is charismatic and full of praise. He singles Arthur out, complimenting his untapped potential. For the first time, Arthur feels seen. Julian starts giving him small, confidential tasks, framing them as a sign of special trust. "I can only rely on you for this, Arthur." The tasks slowly become morally ambiguous, fudging numbers on a report, sharing gossip to undermine a rival colleague. Each time, Arthur hesitates. But then he remembers Julian's praise, the feeling of being chosen. He remembers the alternative, returning to a state of invisibility. The fear of losing his newfound importance is stronger than his own moral compass. Julian never makes a threat. He never raises his voice. He simply built a gilded cage of validation around Arthur and handed him the key, knowing he would be too afraid to use it. Arthur believes he is Julian's right-hand man, his confidant. The tragic irony is that he is Muppets, and here is the twist you were not expecting. While you've been listening, you have been judging Julian. You've been pitying Arthur. You've been thinking about the manipulators out there, the other people who do these things. But have you turned the lens inward? Have you never exaggerated a story to make yourself the hero? Have you never given a gift with a subtle, unspoken expectation? Have you never used a small, easy request to pave the way for a larger one? The line between persuasion and manipulation is not a clear, bright line. It is a blurry gray fog. We all drift across it. The same psychological mechanics Julian used are tools that you too possess. You use them on your children to get them to eat their vegetables. You use them on your partner to win an argument. You use them on yourself, creating narratives to justify your own questionable choices. You are not just the potential victim, you are also the potential architect. The knowledge of these tricks is not just a shield to defend against others, it is a mirror, and what you see in it might be more unsettling than any external threat. The real dark psychology is the one you practice on yourself without even realizing it. So we arrive not at an answer, but at a deeper question. If these patterns are so deeply woven into the fabric of human interaction, is genuine connection even possible? Or is every relationship a subtle negotiation of power? Machiavelli would argue that to pretend otherwise is to be willfully blind. To navigate the world, you must see it for what it is, a stage where everyone is playing a role, whether they know it or not. The goal is not to become a master manipulator, but to achieve a state of radical awareness. To see the strings, not just on you, but the ones you hold yourself. To understand the game so completely that you can choose not to play, or to play with purpose, with intention, and with a clear understanding of the costs. The ultimate power is not controlling others. It is the unwavering, unflinching control of yourself. The final affirmation is this: I am the observer of the game, not just a player.